Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect. Let me go to the main camera. Already we're live, and as you guys can tell by the title and thumbnail, today is day 10 of my AI engineering for 365 days series, where last stream I did work with async.io await slash I think async.io async slash away. There we go, guys. The name is way too confusing. Speaking of which, I did stop at question number 15, and today I was about to work with question 16 all the way to questions 30. So hopefully I can complete all those 15 questions, because by God, this topic is so easy, but really tedious as well, because the smallest mistake actually gives us an error, and there are pretty much new things that I am learning as well. Speaking of which, let me go on to my gameplay screen. There we go. Okay, and guys, I did create this brand new chat yesterday, so I did not have to do the struggle of creating it today. Let's say something like "Sam live!" exclamation. Okay, and guys, since I am working a little on playing Valorant as well for like the upcoming streams, my monitor is kept so close to my face, so there is not much space for my keyboard. So I'm just gonna leave it here. What's your goal? What role do you want to land a job in? Definitely AI engineering. Speaking of which, let's get it. No warm up, straight to work. Wow, no warm up. New concept, asyncio.q. Guys, how many methods does this asyncio actually have? Because before question 16, you need this weapon in your arsenal, basically teaching me the prerequisites before I really work on a certain topic. That said, hold up, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and move on here. Let's go to English to Japanese. I don't know why I always pick Japanese here, but let's go ahead and paste the word. Let's see the pronunciation.
Hue.
Hue. Okay. So a hue is a line. A hue is a line. Tasks going one end get processed out of the other end. It's basically like a tunnel in that case. This is how real AI pipelines work. A job pile up, worker chew through them. I see. Are you in college or high school? Actually, I am a freshman in college. That's it. So firstly, we import asyncio as usual, and then we go with hue equals to asyncio.hue method await hue dot put item. Wow, our hue has methods in it as well. Okay, add something to the line. So I want to add item to my hues line, and then item equals to await hue dot get. Pull the next item out. Hue dot task done. Signal that item is finished. Await hue dot join. Block until all items are task done. Block until all items are task underscore done. Ah, I see. Okay. The pattern, producer slash consumer, async defined. So we create a coroutine function called producer that requires hue as a parameter, and then we await our hue dot put job one. Producer loads the hue, and then await hue dot put job two. I'm assuming producer loads the hue again. And then we create another coroutine function that requires hue as a parameter. We set item equals to, or we create a variable item and set that equals to hue.get. Consumer pulls the hue, print processing item, hue.task must call this or join waits forever. Producer puts work in, consumer pulls work out. I see. Hue.join waits until every item has been task underscore done. Okay. This is the backbone of agent task routine. Learn it cold. Question 6. A job queue with producer and two workers. Task. Build an async job queue system where one producer loads jobs and two workers process them simultaneously. Requirements: create an async io.queue. Producer put 6 jobs in the queue, job 1 through job 6. Prints queue job underscore x, which is basically going to be the job number, I'm assuming, for each worker, name, and a queue. Loops pulls, in case we're going to be using loops, pulls a job, prints worker A. Processing job underscore X. We wait for 1 second, print workers done, blah blah blah, and call the task underscore done. Workers stop looping when the queue is empty and all items are done. Okay, so wow. Oh wow. Okay, workers need while true loops, they keep pulling until cancelled. After queue.join resolves cancels both worker tasks manually. Worker underscore task dot cancel. Same pattern. You use question 14 and question 15. Okay, yeah, those were where you actually used the cancel. Okay, producer is just a regular await, not a task. Run it before launching. Okay, it does say don't overthink it. I was about to overthink it, but I guess we're not gonna. And yeah, this is the notes from my last stream's video. So if you guys do want to check it, let me know on my Discord server. I can actually give you access to these notes. That said, I'm gonna go ahead and let's say move on to my async IO. Let me exit that. Where is my async IO? Hello. There we go. I'm gonna go to my async IO's .py file. And then let's exit this. Now I'm gonna actually open my Claude in the other window so I can use it as a reference because I want to read the question as I answer them. Let's go run that there. And also one small little thing here. I'm gonna go to properties, configure video. Wow, my gain is max. I'm gonna go ahead and just leave this out here and then hit something like okay. Now, if I change this, my webcam's gain increases and decreases. Maybe I want it to be a bit more brighter. I might increase the exposure. Doesn't make it laggy, does it? Okay, and then I'm gonna decrease some of the gain. And in case you guys want to start streaming, this is what you guys should sort of learn. Okay, I'm gonna leave this in the other window. And then we're gonna grab that, get that there. All right, perfect. Let's move on to question 6. I'm gonna close that. There we go. Okay, so firstly, build an async job queue system. Okay, so I gotta create an async IO's queue. So firstly, since I am working with async IO, I'm gonna go ahead and include async IO. And then, excuse me guys, I'm gonna look at the reference as well. We're gonna have to create a queue. I still don't get what queue means, but okay. Queue. So queue. Queue is going to be equal to my async IO dot. There we go. Dot queue. Oh, so it's going to be uppercase with a parentheses because this is a queue method, and then producer puts 6 jobs in the queue. So for my producer, I'm going to go ahead and create a coroutine function. So async define producer. Okay, my producer is going to be requiring a parameter of my queue. And then inside a producer, let's see. They put jobs. Here's the thing, I forgot how to put jobs. Hold up, I might look at the reference real quick. Okay, so queue.put. So we use a put function here for our jobs. Okay, so we're gonna go with something like my queue parameter dot put. I want to go ahead and let's say put something like a job underscore 1. There we go. Okay, and then I'm gonna await this as well. Let's await. Now here's the thing. Is my await valid here? Okay, well it is valid. And then we gotta go through job 6. So put 6 job into the queue, job 1 through job 6 prints queue job for each. How will it print that? But okay, I guess let's just go ahead and add a bunch of jobs here real quick. There we go. Let's paste it there. Whoops. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is supposed to be 6. Now we basically just changed the number here. That's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5, that's 6. Okay, so we put 6 jobs in the queue. and then it prints Hugh underscore job. Okay, how do you do that? I think I'll ignore that for now. Producer does all that stuff. Don't we create a consumer as well? Okay, so build an async job system where one producer loads job and two workers process them simultaneously. So worker, okay, and then worker named Hugh pulls a job and prints routine process. Wait, so prints Hugh job or Hugh job underscore X. How do you like do that? You know what? You know what? I think I got it. Claude did say me to not overthink it, so I guess I'm not gonna overthink it. I'm just gonna go with something like worker. We'll see. What's the worst that can happen? The worst thing is that I'm just gonna mess this question up. But well, I won't because I am trying to get a gist of it, but just a tiny, a tad bit of gist. Speaking of which, we have a worker queue that pulls a job, prints worker processing, job underscore X, and then waits 1 second. What the hell? So I'm gonna go with something like while true. I want to go ahead and do something. Pulls a job. So while true, and prints that. Huh. Okay, you know what? I don't think it's a logic error here. I think it's a syntactual error. I don't know my syntaxes for this part. So I might correct plot here, and then let's go ahead and paste it. Okay, wait, let me say something like sensei. I do not think that I am struggling logically. However, I am struggling syntactually. Is that how you spell it? Oh my gosh, guys, there is no way I spelled that correctly first try. I didn't. Okay, I'm struggling syntactually. Can you help me understand the syntax first? Maybe by some reference and then questions? Question mark. Okay, and then let's send it. Okay, good knowing where you're stuck is half battle. That's smart now weak. Speaking of which, the worker syntax line by line. So we go with an async worker while true. Item equals to await hue.get. How does that make sense? Suppose next job. Okay, so get wait if empty. What does the get even do? And then we print yada yada, and then asyncio dot sleep 1 second simulate work, and then print name done with items. Signal this job to finish. Oh, and then q dot task underscore done. It keeps and keeps and keeps and keeps on iterating forever and ever. Okay, and then main syntax. So we go ahead and run producer first. The queue awaits. Okay, launch workers. So task 1 equals to asyncio.create task. I have work with create task. It requires a coroutine. My coroutine is my workers' coroutine function. And then task 2 is my worker B, 2 workers. Dude, before you continue, you should learn type hinting. At most, it'll take 10 minutes, and in exchange, you will fix many syntax headers and make your code editor feel smart. You will know what I mean once you use. By type hint, do you mean like into lessons? Because I might look into that after the stream. That said, wait, q.join and then workers are stuck in while true. And guys, let me know if the ads are balanced on the stream these days, because many of you guys did say me. They used to like overload it up. That said, workers are stuck in while true, cancel them. Task 1.cancel, task 2.cancel. Now, here's the thing. The cancel will give me an asyncio.cancelled error. I'm so curious as to why did we not use our try and accept here. Okay, 2 things that people trip up with. Q.task done. await queue.task underscore done. No, await. Oh, await queue.join. Okay, I will be solving this question using the reference, but then after this question, I'm gonna go ahead and work on questions similar to this. Okay, our producer, of course, it is correct. Like there was almost nothing that was wrong there. That said, in our while loop, I'm gonna go with item equals to await. Okay, so I'm gonna go with hue. Let's go with something like hue.get. Now this pulls the next job waits if empty. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and print an f string that is gonna go ahead and say something like, here's the thing, I don't know how to access emojis, so I'm just gonna go ahead and paste this here. There we go. Okay, because it looks much better with emojis. Until Essence is a different thing, it will work better if you use type hinting. What does type hinting mean? Does it mean like when I'm typing something, it just gives me like a bunch of options here? Because I might try that, but I don't want the stuff that literally like gives me the entire code for the time being. Like when I type, I remember when I first started working with like Visual Studio, it did have Copilot inbuilt in it. So when I used to type anything, for example, like the main function, it used to write my entire program based on the programs that I've already previously written. That said, let's go with await asyncio dot sleep. I want to sleep for 1 second. Then let's go ahead and print task done. And yeah, I'm going to just go ahead and copy my task done message because I don't really have the emoji here. Oh, and I just realized one thing. Why is there a pair of square brackets here? Maybe it's a part of my syntax. Okay, that's it. And then next up, we'll go with something like hue.task underscore done. There we go. Okay, and then next up for our main function, the main syntax, we gotta go ahead and await a producer. So I'm gonna go with another coroutine function for my main function that will not require any parameters, but I will be awaiting my producer. And you know what? Let me get add a hue parameter for this. Okay, and you guys know what? I might actually add a comment here that says run producer. Okay, first fill the hue. There we go. And yeah, I'm writing comments because I think that comments are like really important later on. This is just for me to understand what I'm working with. Next up, the step number 2. That is gonna be launch workers as tasks. Launch workers as tasks. Okay, perfect. Where I'm going to go ahead and create a task 1. This is the part that I do know because I did work with this last stream. I'm going to go with something like asyncio dot create underscore task that requires, wait, should it be await? Pretty sure it's going to be await. Okay, so await asyncio dot create task that requires a coroutine as a function, which is going to be my worker, which requires 2 parameters, a name. I'm going to go with worker underscore a. What are you doing? I'm working with hues. Actually, my current question, this topic is based on hues, but in general, I am working with async io, await, and async. There we go. That name always confuses me. Okay, so we're going to go with hue. Next up, we're going to create a task 2 and await async io. There we go. Dot create underscore task. That again requires a coroutine as a parameter, which is going to be my worker. Now this is going to be worker underscore b, and the second parameter is going to be my hue. I spelled it wrong, didn't I? There we go. Okay, perfect. And then next up, we wait until every item is task underscore done. We wait underscore every item is task underscore done. Wait until every item is task underscore done. Interesting. So we go with queue.join. Okay, these are the bunch of methods that I haven't worked much with in general. And then workers are stuck in while true. Cancel them. That does make sense because we. Let's be honest, there wasn't a break here. I was so confused. Why wasn't there a break here? Okay, let's go with number 4. Workers are stuck in while true. Cancel them. Bro, trust me, just put on a timer for 10 minutes and learn type hinting and use it everywhere. It will make your code much better. It's not tool, it's part of Python itself. I might try that in that case. Okay, so I'm gonna go with task1.cancel with a prof parentheses and then task2.cancel. Maybe like after this question, I'm gonna try that. And then let's go with something like print all jobs complete. There we go. And maybe, since I have been going so precise here, I will be even adding the emoji here because there we go. The emoji looks a little good. And then lastly, let's go with if dunder name equals to dunder mail, then I want to go ahead and do something. I want to run my main function through my async IO. Now let's hit Control S to save the code, Control Alt N, worker processing 1, processing 2, processing 3, processing 4, 5, and 6. Nice. Okay, well, I guess let's go with Control A, Control C, copy that. Okay, I might try type hinting here. Okay, let's go ahead and paste it. Say, done. However, I did copy the reference here. I definitely need way more practice with the queue before we move on. That said, someone from my chat told me to type learn type hinting to learn type hinting, and that it would make my work so much easier. What is it? Question mark. Okay, let's see. Type hinting, basically it reminds me of winter lessons for some reason. I had 3 bugs. Oh. Okay, so we await our queue.join, but our create tasks are never awaited. There we go. Okay, now let's go with Control Alt N. Wow. Hey, 2 workers were done with the job so quick. That's fine. There we go. Fix those 4 things. Oh wow. Whoa. Okay, and then also your producer is missing a print statement for the requirement. So our producer needs for I in range 1 through 7. Okay, I just want to see what this does here. I mean, I do, of course, I know what it's going to do here. It's let's go with shift. Whoa. Hello. What the hell? There. We have await u dot put. There. Okay, so for I in range, await u dot put job 1, print job 1 done. Yo, where are you from? Let's go ahead and run this. Actually, I am like for abroad. Q1 job put. Oh wow. It does a hell of jobs here. What the hell? Okay, yeah, guys, I definitely need so much more practice with this. Let's paste it and then let's send it. Hmm. We're automating this. Okay. You know what? I think the Hue syntax are finally getting to me now. There. Then let me go ahead and eat some more apples. Hmm? Alright, guys. Since when are apples so chewy? That's a clean coded once. Question 16 done. Bank it. Now, type-ins. That person gave you good advice, but here's the truth. Type-ins are phase one. They're coming right after your async IO. You get future lessons. When we get there, don't jump ahead. Oh, so okay. So basically, our next topic is async IO. I mean, is type-ins. Okay. Now, you said you need more practice with Q. I agree. You made 3 bugs on question 16 and needed the syntax reference that tells me Hugh hasn't clicked yet and the muscle memory level at the muscle memory level. So here's the plan. Question 16 done. Question 17, Hugh harder. Question 18, Hugh harder. Question 19 and 20, we introduce something new. You don't need to build a multi-agent AI system without understanding. You don't get to build a multi-agent AI system without understanding, okay, Hues. That's literally how agents pass tasks to each other. Two options. Hit 17 right now, harder Hue challenge. You're tired, stop here, we come back fresh, nah. Option A. I want it, I don't want it to be harder. I want to work on a few questions. Mm, okay, I want to work on a few questions just so I get familiar with the syntaxes, and then we can move on to let's say harder questions. Okay, and then let's send it. I might eat an apple as well. Mm, a restaurant order queue. By the way, I see you're using Edge browser. Any reason why not? Judging, just curious. Actually, because I didn't really find a better browser. Like, there are some people who said me to use Chrome rather than Edge, but then I'm like, as long as it gets the task done, which browser would you guys recommend I use? That said, build an async queue system where one writer takes order and one chef processes them. Requirements: create an async io.queue. Waiter, okay, create an async io.queue. Waiter puts 4 orders into the queue: burger, pizza, pasta, and salad. Prints order taken, okay. Burger for chef. Prints order taken, burger. For each chef with a uses parameter, loops, puts an order, prints cooking burger, waits 1 second, prints ready burger, calls task underscore done. I think with the hue.join function or method. In the main function, run waiter first, launch chef as a task with hue.join. Cancel the chef, print all orders complete. I use Zen browser, but of course, everyone has their own opinions. I see. because I do want to definitely try different browsers, but I don't really see a difference. Like, do different browsers work differently or something? Because I'm like, I basically only mostly use browsers for either YouTube, either Cake, Twitch, and all those different kind of platforms that I really work with and all that stuff. Speaking of which, I'm gonna delete everything. And since I'm gonna be working with async.io, I'm gonna go ahead and import async.io. And then it says that we gotta create a hue. So I'm gonna go with something like hue equals to async.io dot hue. There we go. So hue equals to async.io dot hue. There I'm gonna go ahead and create a coroutine function called waiter. Okay, now my waiter requires hue as a parameter. Inside my waiter puts 4 orders into hue: burger, pizza, pasta, and salad. 4 orders. So for every index in range, I'm gonna go with something like 1 through 5 because the last number is exclusive; it's not included in it. Okay, for every index in range 1 through 5. Oh, wait, hold up, my bad, guys. Hold on a damn minute. I'm gonna go with hue dot put. There we go. We're not putting the same thing. We're putting a different thing. I want to go ahead and put burger. Okay, and then let's await this. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and copy that. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So burger, pizza. Wait, it's gonna. Oh, it's not title case. So it's going to be lowercase burger, lowercase pizza, lowercase pasta, and lowercase salad. There we go. Print order taken burger. Print order taken burger for each. Zen browser is modern styled, not good. Oh, I see. Okay, and then we're gonna go here. There we go. Okay, let's go with for our re-index in hue. Actually, in range 1 through 5, I want to go ahead and print. Let's go with something like. But here's the thing. If I were to look back at my previous codes as reference, we go with hue.put job underscore this thing. Job underscore I. This is the only thing that you'd need. Print hue underscore job. Okay, so I may not even need my range. How am I gonna go ahead and print order taken for each? You know what? I don't think I'll need this. Okay, it might be a mistake that I made exactly in the previous question because I was like, I'm not gonna overthink that stuff. That said, chef hue loops for each. Next, we need two coroutine functions. Microsoft Edge leads Windows browser with optimized performance across RAM, GPU, and CPU. It offers seamless Microsoft account syncing, robust workspace tools, and integrated Copilot support. And that actually sounds really cool, guys. Let's go with something like Chef, which requires hue as a parameter. There we go. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do something. Loops pulls an order, prints cooking burger. We're gonna go with while true. We're gonna go ahead and do something here. While true, I want to go with my hue dot. It wasn't called pull, right? Okay, maybe good with Windows IDK though. I use Arch Linux. I see. Okay, let's see. Let's see. So in the while loop, I wish I had a reference code somewhere. Okay, so while true item equals to, oh, okay, so while true, we're gonna go with item equals to await queue.get. This puts next job, waits if empty. So we go with p and then task underscore done. Okay, once everything is done, our task is done. So loops pulls an order and prints cooking burger. So cooking burger, yada yada. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and print cooking burger. Here's the thing. If my burger is being printed, second, burger is ready. This is gonna be an F string. Cooking item, because this gets all my items. Okay, for order in burger, pizza, await q.put order. You should learn to see patterns like this. Oh, I see. Okay, I'm assuming that after the for every order in burger and the colon, you go and indent the await q.put order in like another line, and it just didn't show it like that on chat. Oh, but I think I see for every order in burger and pizza. Although I have pasta and salad as well. Okay, let's see. Waits 1 second, then prints burger ready. So we're gonna go with await async io.sleep. I want to sleep for 1 second, and then we're gonna go ahead and print burger ready. Let's go with something like ready burger. So I'm gonna go with an F string. There we go. Now this burger is gonna be my item. Let's see. In the main function, so this is pretty much it for this. I'm pretty sure that I got to call task underscore done. I forgot the syntaxes. Item dot task. Nope. Async io dot task underscore done. Nope. Oh god, guys, I hate always looking up back to the references. I should just keep one open at all time. Okay, q dot task underscore done. Okay, I see. I'm gonna get my question back there. So this is going to be my queue. Dot task underscore done. Okay, perfect. And then next up, let's go ahead and create another coroutine function called main. In my main function, I will not require the parameters, although we run waiter first. We run our waiter first. Launch chef as a task with q.join. Oh. Oh ho ho. Okay, so in the main function, we run waiter first, run producer first. Waiter is my producer. So run producer first. I'm gonna go with await waiter, which requires queue as a parameter. Launch workers as task. Okay, so we're gonna launch chef second. So I'm gonna go with task 1 equals to async io dot create underscore task. Okay, that is going to go ahead and require a parameter of chef. What is the chef's name? So we go with q and then cancel and then go with the ending. Okay, let's see the chef's name, unless there is no name. Okay, task done. Run waiter first, launch chef as a task. Chef underscore 1, I guess. Oh wait, my bad. And this requires a coroutine function, which is gonna be hue. Okay, so chef as a task. Wait with hue.join. Let's go with q.join. This waits for my task underscore done to be called. Okay, and then print all orders complete. I gotta cancel it, so we're gonna go with task1 dot cancel, because if we didn't cancel it, then it would be constantly running. Task1 dot cancel there. There we go. I was like, why is it not canceling? Because our while true doesn't have a break, so it's gonna run endlessly until we did not really add this thing here, cancel. Then we're about to print something like all orders complete. Okay, I mean, I did sort of need some reference here. There, all orders complete. And then that's pretty much it. We're gonna go with something like if dunder name equals to, let's say, dunder main, then is that 3 underscores? Through my async ios is run method, I want to go ahead and execute my main function. Control S, Control Alt N. We're gonna wait. Okay, nothing happened. If dunder name equals to dunder main, I'm pretty sure this wouldn't make a difference, but there we go. Okay, we have a join, we have a queue, we got that stuff, we got yada yada. I have my waiter as a queue, and then I've got task 1. Okay, maybe let's go with Control A, Control C. Let me go ahead and just grab Claude up here, paste it, and say I messed up. ... Then I'm gonna maybe eat an apple. Oh shoot! There we go. Okay, there are some more mistakes. All order complete. Okay, so let's read the hints again. Look at your waiter function. The requirement says print order taken for each order. Your waiter is silent. Okay, how though? For every index in range 1 through 5, because there are 4 orders, print. We're gonna go ahead and get our orders taken. I mean, there is no item here. I'm not gonna go with burger, clearly not. This should not be Q. I'm pretty positive this is not gonna be Q, is it? Might go to the instructions up here. Yada yada. Let's go all the way down there. Okay. We go with job at index of I. How will it know what is the I here? Wait, Q dot. Ooh. How's the Goon game coming? Guys, Goon game is crazy. Although I am done with my programming for 250-day series, if you guys actually do want access to the game, I have a community post. Matter of fact, let me show it to you guys real quick. That's it. Let me just go up there and then move on to YouTube. And then let's just grab Claude here real quick, just so I can get this from my other window. There we go. Okay, in case you guys do want to try that game out, I haven't really added it to my bio yet, but I will add it pretty soon. But for the time being, if you guys do want access to it, you guys can go to the posts and move on to, there we go, the third community post down here. If you guys go to the comment section, there is a download link. If you guys click that link, it opens the game. It's called Calamity 2. You guys can download it and then download the zip file, then like unpack it and play the .exe. It is pretty fun actually. It's not. Try reaching wave 100, then like send it to me on Discord. That said, let's see. So look at your waiter function. The requirement says print order taken burgers. So I'm assuming I do not really need any of that stuff. Rather, I just need my eye. There. There we go. Okay, so, oh shoot. I was kind of stupid right now. Since I was in that freaking link, I could have just copied it and added to my bio. Oh god. And that's I'm gonna just go ahead and move on here. That says um orders taken. What up guys? Why am I joking? Orders taken for each order. Second hint, you made the exact same mistake in question 16. Oh, I did make that mistake in question 16. We await this stuff. And we do not. There we go. Orders taken. This. All orders complete. We don't really have the cooking. Orders taken. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, I don't see no burgers and pizzas here. I just see numbers because it's range, because I use range. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and send it, and I'll see it an apple. Here's the thing. Okay. Oh, you're kidding me. I thought that there was a way to do it without doing it manually. But I guess it's fine. Let's go with the weight hue. Dot put. I'm gonna put burger. And then we're gonna go with a bunch of control Z's. I'm gonna copy this. Then we're gonna go with shift Z. Then let's go ahead and paste this. Okay, and this is not going to be an F string. So I'm gonna remove the F string from there. Rather, this is gonna say burger. Okay, and then I'm gonna go with await hue. Dot put, I wanna put pizza. And then I'm gonna go ahead and print this. You know what? I'm gonna save some time. I'm gonna save myself some time here. Pizza. And then we're gonna go with another await hue dot put. I wanna go ahead and put a pasta. Hold up, guys. I wanna know the pronunciation. I think I'm pronouncing it wrong.
Pasta.
Pasta? There we go, guys. How old am I? I can't even say that properly. Pasta. There we go. So we have burger, we have pizza, we have... Guys, why does it feel so awkward to say it the right way? It's pasta. There we go. We have burger, we have pizza, we have pasta. Then I'm going to go ahead and print. Whoa. There we go. This is going to be pasta. And then we're going to go ahead and await our hue.put. Why did everything just blink off? This is going to be salad. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and print. Okay, I'm going to save some time here. We're going to go ahead and print a salad. Whoa. Okay, this was manual, but let's be honest, this is the best that it gets. Okay, so orders taken, cooking burger. Orders taken, burger, pizza, pasta, salad, cooking burger, ready burger, cooking pizza, ready pizza, cooking pasta, ready pasta, cooking salad, ready salad. All orders complete. Okay, I mean, I did get some help here, but I'm getting a gist of it, guys. I'm getting a gist of it now. Speaking of gist, there we go. I'm gonna say done. I am getting a gist of it now. However vague that gist may be. Okay, and then let's go ahead and send it real quick. And then I'm gonna need some apples. There we go. All orders have been taken. Look at line 8. Your chef is going to cook a burger. Nobody wants that. Fix it and paste the output. Not the actual code, okay? Oh, wow. Let's go with Control-Alt-N. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and copy that. And then we're gonna go ahead and trash that. You can wrap plot up here, and then we're gonna go ahead and paste it and say here. And then let's send it real quick. Then I'm gonna need some more apples. Mm-hmm. Hold up, guys. There we go. Why is the apple so chewy? So task: build an async queue where a dispatcher loads packages and delivers them. Requirements: create an async io.queue dispatcher. Queue puts 5 packages in pkj underscore 1. I can use the range function here. Range dispatch package 1 for each. Deliver queue loops pulls a package, prints yada yada. Wait for 1 second, prints yada yada. Task done. In main function, run dispatch with queue.join, cancel delivery. Okay, all those basic stuff. Alright, guys, I know that I can use a range here. So we're gonna go ahead and read the instructions real quick. Oh God. There. Since we're gonna be working with async IO, I am gonna go ahead and import async IO. Can I gotta make sure that this stream is still going? Because I usually keep my device really close to me, but since I'm learning how to play Valorant right now, my monitor is really close to me. My mouse is usually kept there and I'm locked in like this. But well, while I'm streaming, I am a little bit more open. That's it. The instruction says to create a hue, so I'm gonna get the instructions a little bit bigger, a bit more bigger. Nice. Okay, we're supposed to be creating a hue right now. I'm gonna set my hue equal to async IO. What the hell? Wait. Hold on a damn minute. Control R. Let's refresh everything. There we go. And now my mouse moves fast as well. I'm like, is something glitchy or is it just me? The hell? Async io.hue. Why is it glitchy? There we go. What the hell is wrong with this? Okay, and then I'm going to create a coroutine function called dispatcher. Okay, my dispatcher is going to be requiring hue as the parameter, and puts 5 packages in PKJ 1 through 5. Therefore, we're going to go for every index in range 1 through 6. I want to go ahead and do something. I want to go with something like my hue.put. Let's go with something like an f string, pkg underscore, let's say I. That is going to be 1 through 6. Prints package dispatched for each. And I'm going to go ahead and print an f string called something like that. Yeah, I wanna be a little more precise with the emojis. Therefore, we're gonna go ahead and do that. And instead of 1, I'm gonna go ahead and add I. There we go. Okay, and what is wrong with this? Holy lag. There we go. I think because I need to apply that. Did that do the trick? Was it because of my OBS? Wait, can I? Am I even? Hello? What the hell? Hold up, guys. Let me refresh the stream real quick. Maybe I'm gonna close this, open this there. Wow, can you guys see my window moving? Hold on. Already mic testing. There we go. I can finally see myself moving. That said, hi Nicole. I appreciate you joining the stream. We have you. Okay, guys, that's nice because for some reason in my OBS, I was not moving. I was like, what the hell? It's like, have I been yapping this whole time without you guys even being able to see it? I'm going to decrease some gain. There we go. All right, guys, I guess that's good. Maybe I want it to be a tad bit higher. I may actually add my auto configurations here because sometimes my screen, sometimes webcam is too bright and sometimes it's too dull. There we go. Now, where was I? I was going to create a package and read the instructions, right? There. So once we're done with creating our dispatchers queue, I'm gonna, guys, you guys are sleepy or something? That said, we're gonna go ahead and create an async coroutine function called driver, which is going to be requiring hue as a parameter. Right into async IO. I see. Okay, loops pulls a package and prints. So we're gonna go with something like while true. Why is it so glitchy? Like there's a whole 0.1 second delay after I type something. Okay, waits 1 second and prints delivered package. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and firstly print delivering package and number, whichever package it is. Loops pulls a package. I think I need to go with the item equals to hue dot get. Guys, it's so laggy. What just happened all of a sudden? Okay, maybe, you know what? I think I know what happened. We exit our Visual Studio and open it again. I mean, our Visual Studio Code. There we go. Oh, wow, this is so much smoother. Yeah, guys, that was the issue all along. And then we're gonna go ahead and print, let's say, delivering a package. We're gonna go with something like an S string, a delivering package. Although instead of package, this is gonna be my item. Okay, and then next up, we're gonna go ahead and wait for 1 second. So I'm gonna go with a wait, async io.sleep. I'm gonna sleep for 1 second. And then we're gonna go ahead and print a delivered package. Let's go with an F string that says delivered package. Yeah, I'm gonna save myself even more time. This is gonna be item. Okay, and then next up, we call the task underscore done. So I'm gonna go with hue.task underscore done. There we go. Okay, I see. And then in our main function, so we're gonna create another async coroutine function. My bad. Called the main, which will not require any parameters. However, I will be running the dispatcher first. So dispatcher in this case is my producer. I do not have a task yet. Maybe I don't need a task. Mm. So await dispatcher that requires queue as a parameter. I'm thinking so hard if I needed a wait or not. Okay. Launch driver as a task. So we're gonna go ahead and create our task one for my asyncio dot create underscore task, which is going to be called task, which is going to be called driver because they require a coroutine function that has queue as a parameter. And then we're gonna go ahead and wait with queue.join with queue.join. So we're gonna await our queue.join. We're gonna wait for our driver to return task underscore done. Why it takes queue as a parameter? Because well, I did create queue up here, which was equal to our async io.queue. I still need my notes for what queue really does because this is my third question and I'm still working with it. But as far as what you may call it, the thing that I know so far is that what queue actually does is we have a producer and a consumer. The producer loads in stuff and the consumer grabs that stuff out. So that's basically all I know about it for the time being. But the more questions I do, the better I'm probably going to get with this. Because dispatcher is our producer. It loads in all of our package. The driver is our consumer. It's using a while loop to get all our packages and deliver it, if that makes any sense. And once it's delivered all packages, it says task done. And then basically in the main function, we just call our producer. So it loads in everything and then we create a task using the asyncio.create task for our driver, which is our consumer. Our consumer, which is my driver's coroutine function, has a task to go ahead and let's say grab all the content that was loaded by my producer, my dispatch function. Once it's done, it's going to go ahead and return queue.task underscore join. And we wait for our task underscore join to actually send. That's what the join here really does. Okay, and then once it's sent, we go with, let's see. Okay, once join is done, we go ahead and cancel our queue. So I'm going to go with queue.cancel. Oh, there we go. The reason we added cancel here is because our while true loop does not really have a break, so manually cancels the whole thing. And then lastly, we're gonna go ahead and print, let's say, all packages delivered. I'm gonna save myself some time. I could potentially type this stuff, but I don't have the emoji and I would have to copy that. That said, I'm gonna go with if dunder name equals to dunder main. I'm going to go ahead and run my main function through my async IO. Then we're going to Control S, Control Alt N. We run into an attribute error. Queue has no attribute cancel, of course. CANCEL. Oh wait, my bad. Task one dot cancel. Whoops. So packages 1, 2, 3, dispatched. We have one more error, tiny one. You know what? I think I'm pretty good with the syntaxes that I may know where I actually have the error. We do not, we await our queue. Our queue. You know what? We don't await our queue. We await our task underscore done. No? What is the expected output? We wait for 1 second. So we have our range, we put in the stuff, we display that stuff. We have, okay, this may be the only thing that might be wrong here. Okay, so we are expected to, oh yeah, it is a coroutine function. You know what, let's go with control A, control C. I'm gonna copy that and then I'm gonna wrap plot up here, and then let's go ahead and paste it and say I messed up again. And then let's go ahead and send it. I'm gonna eat an apple in the meanwhile. Look carefully and see. Are put and get async IO functions. I mean hue functions. They are, right? You already know what's wrong. Look at your dispatcher and driver. Same mistake twice. Ask yourself, are put and get async operations? One word is missing in both lines. You've written it correctly in every question before this. Await. There we go. We needed a wait. Oh god. Need to learn where these awaits go. Yeah, I still need to work on where these awaits goes. Ah, I see. I think that I just do not have a nice understanding as to where the weights go and when all should I use them. I know that I must use weights when calling coroutine functions or any async IO methods in general. Okay, and then let's go ahead and send it. Then I'm gonna eat something. There we go, that's the output. Alright guys, there we go. Okay, perfect. Clean perfect question 18. Now let's fix your await confusion for good. Here's the simple rule. The await rule, one sentence, await goes in front of anything that has to wait for something to happen. That's it, let's sink it in. Await q dot put waits for waits if q is full. Await q dot get waits if q, okay, waits for time to pass, waits until all jobs are done, waits for coroutine function to finish. Q dot task underscore done. No wait, fires instantly. Async IO dot create underscore task. No wait, just schedules, no await. The question to ask yourself every time you write a line, ask, does this line needs to pause and wait for something to happen? Yes, await. No, no await. Task underscore done does not await. It just flips a flag instant. Get might wait and the queue is empty if the queue is empty, not instant await. That rule will carry you through 90% of cases. Tattoo it in your brains. You know what? I think I'm ready for harder ones then. Because believe it or not, that question I did do it all by myself by reading the instructions. So I think besides that await, I got the gist of how stuff works. I think we can get the heat just up a notch. Speaking of heat, a new concept, sentinel values. Oh wow, we're working with sentinel values now. Right now, you stop your workers by canceling them. That's fine, but in production, there's a cleaner way. A sentinel value, a secret signal that tells workers, when done, stop looping. None is the sentinel, it means shut down. Await q.put none. If item equals to await.q.get, if item is none, q.task underscore done, then we break. Exit while true cleanly. No cancel needed, the worker exits itself gracefully. Question 19. Support ticket queue with Sentinel shutdown. Task build a support ticket system. One manager loads tickets. Two agents process them tickets. Workers stop themselves using a Sentinel value. Requirements. Manager queue. Put 6 tickets, tickets 1 through 6. Prints when K through ticket underscore 6 with print. Then puts 2 non-sentinels, 1 per worker. Agent, name Q, loops pull tickets, prints agent A handling ticket 1, waits a second, prints agent A resolved ticket 1, calls task underscore done. If item is not none, calls task underscore done and breaks. No cancel and main, workers stop themselves, use asyncio.gather instead of create task to launch both agents. I have worked with gather, which is kind of recalling that stuff. Expected output, yada yada, yada yada, blah blah blah. Okay, let's go ahead and get the instructions in the other window just so I can use them as a reference. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and delete this. Since I'm going to be working with async.io, I'm going to go ahead and include async.io. Then let's create a coroutine function called manager that requires queue as a parameter. I'm going to use pass as a placeholder. While I go ahead and create a queue. There we go. And then inside my async.io, nice man. Okay, inside my manager function, I'm gonna put 2 tickets. So let's go with a for loop. Whoa. Let's go with for every index in range. There are 6 tickets, right? So I'm gonna go with 1 through 7 because the last number in a range is exclusive. I'm gonna go with something like ticket underscore 1 through ticket underscore 6 with prints. Okay, then puts 2 nuns. Okay, then puts 2 non-sentinel, 1 per worker. Okay, well, I guess put 6 tickets. So I'm gonna go with queue await queue dot put because I am adding something here. This is going to be an f string that says ticket underscore I. And then we're going to go ahead and print, then puts 2 non-sentinel values, 1 per worker. Prints, then puts 2 non-sentinel values, 1 per worker. Non-sentinel values, 1 per worker. we have an await here. We're gonna go ahead and print an f string with prints. I might go with the outputs here. There we go, just so I can get the sticker. Instead of this thing 6, ticket underscore I. Okay, now how do I do the none parts? So then puts 2 non-sentinel values per worker. How do you do that? You know what? I think let's think about that later. I'm gonna go with a second coroutine function called agent that requires name as a parameter and my hue as a parameter. There are loops. We're gonna use a while loop. Loops pulls ticket, prints a agent handling ticket 1. So we're gonna pull a ticket. So I'm gonna go with item equals to await hue dot get. I'm gonna go ahead and get my ticket, and then I'm gonna go ahead and print an f string that says something like agent handling ticket yada yada. Oh god, this is so tedious. Instead, rather than having ticket 1, I'm gonna have item. Okay, there. And then next up, once we're done with that stuff, we're gonna go ahead and wait for 1 second. Therefore, I'm gonna go with asyncio.sleep 1 second. And since sleep has a timer, I'm gonna go ahead and add a await so I can wait for my sleep to be done and run other chunks of code while my sleep is still working or while my sleep is still in progress. And then prints agent resolve ticket 1. I'm gonna again copy that stuff just because of the emojis. Here's the thing, I can type these things, but then since I need to actually add emojis, I'm like, it's gonna be so much easier if I just copy the print statement. Okay, and then calls task underscore done. Task underscore done does not require a wait. Therefore, I'm gonna go with hue.task underscore done. My task is just done, that's it. If item is a none, call task underscore done, then break. Alright, how is my item going to be none? Something like this. Hue.put none. Okay, so at least once everything here is done, those 7, my hue is going to be set back to none. Oh. Oh. Okay, let's go with something like if item is not none, hue dot task underscore done. There we go. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and break. And that's actually pretty much it, right? No cancel the main function, so let's create our main function or our main coroutine function now. That is gonna go ahead and workers stop themselves. So first, I'm gonna go ahead and call my managers as hue. Let's go with manager hue. I call my managers as hue, which in turn gives me or loads all my tickets in. That is my producer. It gives me the content. Now time for my consumer, which is my agent, who is going to go ahead and do my stuff for me. I'm going to create a task for my, let's go with asyncio.create underscore task. I'm going to create a task for my agent's routine function. You know what? Let's name him Alex. And then the hue is going to be my hue. Well, there we go. Now that we have a task, I'm not going to go ahead and break anything or cancel anything because we already have a break. However, I will be using gather. Use async io.gather rather than async io.create task. Okay. To launch both agents. To launch both agents. Wait, both agents. All right, here's the thing. I just have one agent, unless Claude is talking about the manager as an agent as well. I might do that. Okay, let's go with async await async io.gather. I want to go ahead and gather my manager that requires hue as a parameter. And I want to go ahead and gather my agent that requires a name that is going to be Alex and a hue as a parameter. Okay, and then launch both agents. I did do that stuff. Now I'm gonna go with if dunger name equals to dunger main. I'm gonna go ahead and through my async ios' run method, I'm gonna go ahead and run my main function. Tickets 1, 2, 3, ticket 1 handled. Alright, we just have our first ticket handled. Maybe when my for loop ends. Ticket 1 handle. Oh wow, we're just having our ticket 1 handle here. You know what? Let's copy that stuff up. I'm gonna grab plot up here. Let's go ahead and paste it and say, I believe that I messed up again. Interesting. Let's go ahead and send it real quick. What the hell? How did I manage to mess it up again? Like all the questions that I've done till now had a tiny bit of errors. I see 4 mistakes. What the hell? Tell me exactly where. Look at your code. I see 4 mistakes. How can you spot before I reveal them? 4 mistakes. Definitely the first mistake. If item is the... that's not a mistake. That is the second mistake. There is no typos anywhere. Hue ticket underscore 1 while okay, so hue dot get, I made sure that was correct, and then we have put, made sure that was correct. Okay, I think it's the mistakes for the newer logic or the newer syntaxes. Okay, let me go here. I think that my none was the place where I did make mistakes. And then let's send it real quick. I'm gonna go here, let's delete that. There we go. Okay, I guess there's thinking. Good instincts. Yes, and none is part of it, but here's the 3 actual places. Where should the sentinel go? Mistake 2, none versus none. Oh, you're kidding me. And 1 mistake outside of none entirely. Look at your agent function. You have a name parameter. Oh, guys, how? There's a no freaking way I use none, right? Right. Oh my gosh. Oh, guys, this is the kind of mistakes that I hate doing. What the hell? We have a none, and then look at it carefully. You have a name parameter. Oh, this is going to be my name in a pair of curly braces. Same is gonna go with this. There we go. Okay, so we've got our name parameters here, and then we have our task done, we have a break, we have a queue. Nothing else is wrong, right? Let's run. Alex handling ticket 1, Alex resolved ticket 1. Now we gotta go with ticket 2 and 3. Now, the second thing is, where do you think the sentinel value should go? Once all 4 are done. Okay, I actually think that the sentinel value must go there. Okay, and then, yo, hiding pixel, appreciate you joining the stream. Mistake 2, none versus none. Mistake 3, how many workers do you have? How many sentinel values do you need? This is 1 per loop, 1 sentinel value per loop. I did fix majority of them. I believe I fixed majority of the issues. Why did I add a question mark? I'm sure I fixed majority, but I did not fix the newer syntaxes. You fixed none and name variables good, but 3 mistakes still remain. This puts none after every single ticket sentinel value goes after the loop. I did try it after the loop, mistake 2. Your if slash break logic is backwards. You break when item is a real ticket. If item, oh my gosh. Guys, do I even know my syntaxes at this point? Ticket 1, ticket 2, ticket 3, ticket 3, and then adding ticket form. Ticket 1 resolved, ticket 2 resolved, 3 resolved, 4 resolved, 5 resolved, 6 resolved. Alex resolved none. Okay, now when the last part does execute, I want to go ahead and just display my main stuff. Okay, what was the final thing that I had to display when everything is on? All tickets resolved. I gotta go ahead and print all tickets resolved. So the final error, which is gonna be here, one agent needs two. Two workers means two sentinels in gather. Okay, so we have agent 1. Let's add a second agent. This is gonna be called Hannah. That is gonna be called Noah. In case you guys did watch my programming series, you guys would know who they are. My programming for 250-day series, I mean. And then all tickets resolved. So we need to add all tickets resolved as well. Okay, so once this is the case, we're gonna print all tickets resolved. Okay, Hannah handling, Noah handling, wait, Noah handling ticket 1, Hannah handling ticket 2, Noah handling ticket 1. Oh. Noah resolved none. No one handling none, no one resolved none. Item is my hue. Mm. Okay, I mean, it does work. It does work now. Let me just go ahead and paste it and say it does work now. However, I do get a small issue. When my program ends, the output says Nova handles none and Nova resolves none. Then let's send it. Good progress, but two things. You still have one sentinel for two workers. How does that change a thing? Your code prints handling none before checking. Why do we need that? Oh god. Oh. We need a task underscore done. If it's none, we need a task underscore done once we're done. We have two workers, so we need two nuns. The only part that I didn't understand. And then apparently we don't need this here. I will be copying this print statement because why not? And then we create our item here. Before we print the stuff, I want to check if my item is none. I want to go ahead and initiate my hue.task underscore done, and then we break. Else we print that stuff, and then in the main function, we're gonna go ahead and print that, because everything is over. No one handling ticket 1, resolved, handling resolved, all tickets resolved, perfect. Okay, let's copy that. Let's go ahead and how is happening? You mean like how's it going? It's actually going pretty good. I'm starting to get a gist of it. Let me say something like work. And guys, an hour and 30 minutes in this stream, and I'm still like it's starting to get a gist of it. I said that like 13 minutes on stream as well, or something like that. That's thinking. Let's go. Question 19 done. One small thing to note, though you're missing task underscore done. Should be here too. Okay, why? Okay, now here's the question. Let me run this real quick. Noah handling ticket 1, Noah resolved, Hannah resolved. It seems like today was very busy. Honestly, I mean, I won't say as busy, but it is kind of decent here. Okay, hue progress check. Okay, here's the thing. I had two questions though. Why did we need a two sentinel values? Like, will it ever make a difference? Because I basically added the same line twice. Await hue dot put none. How does it change something if I just did it once, since it is not assigned to a variable and it's just like a statement, if that made any sense? Will it not override itself? And secondly, Why did we need a task underscore done after the print statement and also after the if check? Oh god, guys, my typos are so bad here. That's it. I'm gonna go ahead and send this. Have you used Claude Code CLI? Is that like the free? Is that like the free version? Because I have been only using the freer versions here. I'm currently using the latest free version, which is Sonnet 4.6 with adaptive thinking. That's it. Question one. Why two sentinels? Think of queue like a physical line of items. Ticket 1, ticket 2, ticket 3, ticket 4, ticket 5, ticket 6. None, none. Each worker pulls one item, so Nova pulls ticket 1, Hannah pulls ticket 2, Nova pulls ticket 3, Hannah pulls none, Nova sees none. Breaks, Hannah pulls. Oh, I see. Question 2. Why two tasks underscore done calls? Simple rule, every get needs exactly one task underscore done. You call get once regardless of what you pulled, real ticket or none. The hue registered that you took something. You must tell it you're done with it, I see. Real ticket path item equals to await hue.get took something. Do some work. Hue.task done. Till hue we're done with it. None path. Item equals to hue. Still needs to tell hue. Get equals picking a package. Task underscore done equals to signing the receipt. I see both clear. But let's go with something like, however, I do need some time to soak the info. Therefore, maybe, actually, you know what? And ready. I was gonna sell watch view tutorials, but I think I got it. I don't fully got it, but yeah. New concept, priority queues. So right now your queue processes items in order, first in, first out. But what if some jobs are more urgent than others? Async IO.priority queue processes the lowest number first. Queue equals to async IO.priority queue, await queue.put 1, urgent task, priority 1, first out. Await queue.put 3, low task, priority 3, last out. Okay, item equals to queue.get. Okay, you know what? Hospital emergency. We do that stuff, blah, blah, blah. Bob, Alice, Charlie, Dina, Eve. Okay. Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. Use async IO.priority hue nurse hue. Wait, that requires two parameters. Okay. What has a freaking parentheses in it? Nurse hue as 5 patients as tuples. Okay. For each, then puts 2 non-sentinels as 0, none. Priority 0, they come out last. Wait, what will work? Think about it. Doctor name and hue pulls patients, unpacks tuples, checks for none, prints Dr. Smith treating name, waits 1 second, prints Dr. Smith done with name, calls task underscore done. 2 doctors launched with gather, prints all patients treated. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get the instructions in the other window. Hospital emergency queue. Build a hospital triage system. Patients arrive with different urgency levels. The doctor always treats the most critical patients first. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna go ahead and delete this. And since I'm working with async IO, I'm gonna go ahead and import async IO. Then we're gonna go ahead and create a queue called async IO.priority queue. There we go. And then we're gonna go ahead and define a coroutine function called nurse that requires a hue as its parameter. And then now inside my parameter adds 5 patients as tuples, prints Patient registered patient's name. 5 patients as parameters. I mean, 5 patient parameters as tuples. Doesn't. I'm assuming this is how it goes. Denver. 5 patients as tuples. So a tuple, wait, a list of patients in a tuple, which is tuples. You know what? Let's go with await. Hue.put, I'm gonna go ahead and put my first patient. I think this is the tuple that we need. Urgency is gonna be 1. This is gonna be urgent task. Okay, and then we're gonna go with our second tuple, which is gonna go ahead and be another wait. But we can iterate over this stuff, right? So I might remove that, might go back here, and I might go back here. That's out. Hue.put. This second patient is going to be at a priority of 3. It's going to say low task. So low task. Okay, and then we're going to go with something like await. Hue.put. I'm going to go ahead and put my third patient at a priority of 2. Medium task. Or let's go with normal task. Same thing. And I just realized, let me go ahead and lowercase my urgent as well. There we go. Okay, and then once we're done with that, yo, adding pixel, appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, we're gonna go with item equals to await.hue unpacks the tuple. Okay. Okay, now in the instructions, adds 5 patients to the tuples. Okay, so we have patient 1, patient 2, patient 3. Okay, for each, then puts 2 non-sentinels as 0 and none. I'm thinking this so hard right now. Priority 0, so they come out last. Wait, will that work? Think about it. Priority 0, they come at last. It does work. Doctor name, and then this is pulls the patient, unpacks the tuple. Okay, and then we go with sentinels, yada yada. Okay, wait, let's go with 4 and 5. You know what? Patient 1, this is going to be patient 1. That is patient 1, and then I'm going to go ahead and copy that. That is patient 2. That is patient 3. There we go, and then this is going to be patient 4. Patient 4. And lastly, we're going to go with patient 5. That is my patient 5, which has a priority of 5. 45? There we go. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and add 2 non-sentinels. So I'm going to go with await. Q.put. I want to go ahead and put this as priority 0, none. And then we're going to go with another await. Q.put. This is going to be priority 0 of none. They both execute at the very end. I'm starting to get what none means, to be honest. Speaking of which, patient registered. Then we go with patient registered, our patient's name. I'm positive this is the thing that goes manually. Priority N. Oh god, why is I increased my DPI because I'm trying to grind a little on Valorant. So my mouse moves way too fast, but I'm getting kind of used to it. That said, let's go ahead and print f string, paste. Whoops. There, so patient registered. This is just going to be a regular print statement. Patient's name is going to be patient one. You know what? Screw it. Alex. I like the name for some reason. Alex has a priority of 1. And then I'm going to go ahead and save me a whole lot of time by copying this, pasting it here. This is going to be called Hannah. My second patient is Hannah. Hannah has a priority of 3, not really as important. And then we're going to go ahead and copy that. I'm going to go ahead and paste it here. My third patient is going to be called Bob. Let's go with the Bob has a priority of 2. And then let's go ahead and copy this. I'm going to go ahead and paste it here. My fourth patient is going to be called Sarah. Sarah has, whoops, let's go ahead and change that to Sarah. Sarah has a priority of 4. Lastly, for my fifth patient, I'm going to go ahead and register it and call it something like, I don't know, what should I go with? Pixel. There we go. Guys, I can't think of a better name. Okay, let's go with something like Pixel. Pixel has a priority of, let's say, something like 5. Okay, perfect. And then next up, once we're done with this, we're going to go ahead and create another async IO's coroutine function. So I'm going to go with something like async define. Let's name this to something like a doctor. That requires name as a parameter and Q as a parameter, where I'm going to go ahead and pull patients. So we're going to go with while true. I'm going to do something. I want to go ahead and pull my patient from my queue. Unpacks tuples, checks for none. While true, I'm going to go ahead and set item equals to my hue.get. Await hue.get. Okay, and then, excuse me guys, checks for none. If item is none, then I want to go ahead and do something. I want to set my hue.task underscore done. Stop the task, break the loop. And if that did not really happen, I'm going to do my regular chores, which is basically going to be me printing Dr. Smith treating name. We wait for a second. Okay, I'm going to go with something like print. And yeah, just to save some time, we're going to go ahead and copy that stuff. There we go. And then I'm going to set this to be an F string, paste it, and that colon. And rather than saying Dr. Smith, we're going to go with our name. Treating our patient's name, which is going to be my item. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and let's say, wait for a second. So I'm going to go with a wait. Async IO. Without sleep, I want to sleep for 1 second, which means the coroutine function is going to be paused for a second. And then we print something like another F string. Okay, my F string is going to say Dr. Smith done with task. There we go. And again, it's not really going to be called Dr. Smith. Well, it depends. I could call it Dr. Smith, but it's going to be my name. And this is going to be my item. Okay, perfect. And then we call our task underscore done. So we go with our hue.task underscore done. Okay. Now, 2 doctors launched with gather function. So this is where we go ahead and call our main function. I'm going to go with async define a main coroutine function, which is going to go ahead and let's await my hue.gather. I want to go ahead and gather a bunch of my functions. The first is going to be my nurse function, which requires hue as its parameter. The second is going to be my doctor function, or my doctors is coroutine function that requires a name. You know what? Dr. Smith is nice. Okay, and then it requires a hue parameter. And then lastly, my third thing could be another doctor, because I need two doctors. Okay, two doctors with my gather. What should the second doctor's name be? So we have a Dr. Smith, and then we could go with something like a doctor. What doctor, guys? I'm bad at naming. Should I pick a random name from chat? Uh, oh wow, Dr. Med sounds nice. Dr. Med. There we go. Who is gonna be having hue as a parameter as well. And then lastly, we're gonna go ahead and print a regular print statement that's gonna go ahead and say all patients treated. And let's paste it here. Okay, and then lastly, I'm gonna go ahead and add something like if Dunger name equals to let's say Dunger main. I want to go ahead and through my async IO run my main function. Okay, and then let's hit Control S, Control Alt N. Oh wow, we ran into an attribute error. No attribute gather. I spelled gather wrong, didn't I? My bad. There we go. Patients registered. Doctor, oh god, this is going so fast. Let's let all patients be treated real quick. Okay, they're done with all patients, but we did not really get our print statement up here. Let's try again. Okay, so patient registered. So we have Alex, we have Hannah, we have Bob, we have Sarah. Doctor treating 0, none. It goes with the lowest priority. Wait, would that work? No, 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 no. If my priority is set to 0, it will not work. So we gotta go with 6. Alex gets treated first, Bob gets treated first, and then we have, oh my gosh, what the hell? No, we cannot have priorities. Maybe this is just gonna be a non-tuple. There. We cannot not have a tuple. Interesting. And then this doesn't get called, this does not get called as well. Okay, maybe I guess I'm gonna go with Control A, Control C. Let's copy that. Let's get a rep plot up here real quick, and then we're gonna go ahead and paste it and say, I messed up. Okay, and then let's go ahead and set it, guys. The casual messing up stuff. What the hell? Okay, so I guess we're thinking. God all day. Okay, good instinct, catching it yourself. I mean, I did get an error. So, hue dot 0, none, priority 0. Think 1, sentinel. Remember, lowest number comes out first. That does make sense. Think about the none check. Can a tuple ever equal none? I don't know, can it? You're unpacking in your print, but not before your check. What should you do first after get? So, if item is not none, I mean, adding it to a 6 won't really help it. I mean, it will help it. That's clearly what helps it. Okay, wait, let me just go ahead and grab this back up here. And let's say, I mean, I added my hues is none to have a priority of 6, but what goes after dot get? And can a tuple never return none? Because that may be a reason. That actually might be a reason. Could fix on the sentinel priority. 6 is never none. A tuple can never equal none, so your check will never trigger. I did not know we could do this stuff. You need to unpack first. Priority name equals to this. Now you're checking the actual value. If name is none, q.task. Oh God, of course, of course, of course, of course. Also fix your print statement. Right now you're printing the whole tuple. Right now you're printing the whole tuple. For every priority, okay, I did not know we could do this part, so I kind of just blame the situation in this place, or my lack of understanding here. If name is none, hue just breaks off, and then this is going to be my name. My name. I just realized we can't really call that our name. This is going to be doctor underscore name. There we go. Yeah, because I can't really have a name as my name. This is going to be doctor name. That is going to be doctor name. Control S, and let's go with Control Alt N. Now, first, let's read this a little bit slow. So, patient registered, Hannah registered, Bob registered, Sarah registered, Alex registered, Pixels registered. Dr. Smith is treating Alex. Dr. Med is treating Bob. Dr. Smith done with Alex. Dr. Smith treating Hannah. Dr. Med done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All patients treated. Perfect. Oh, okay, that was a little bit tricky at first, but it's not really that hard. Ah, I see. So it was just a syntax error because I did not know that we could do priority name. Okay, that's it. Let's go ahead and send this real quick. Okay, it runs 20, and yes, that's called tuple unpacking. It's not asyncio specific. It's a core Python, guys. Am I just stupid then? You can do this. It's the same thing. So item equals to 60, priority equals to item at index of 0, name equals to item at index of 1. You can do this same thing in one line. Priority name, item at index. Oh. Now look at your output versus expected output. The difference, expected, no brackets. It's fine. Okay, that said, I will probably work on questions 21 through 30 next stream because I do need to go right now. Okay, that said, can I get the prompt for the other chat? Okay, while I'm actually doing this stuff, I'm gonna go ahead and let's say move on to my main camera. And guys, what the hell? Come on. The one time I move my eyes off my webcam, it starts to get all shiny and all that stuff. Okay, I'm gonna decrease my exposure just a tad bit. Whoa, that's a lot. There we go, that's perfect. Okay, and then let's go ahead and click OK. Alright guys, so basically that was pretty much it for the stream. I am going to be working on days 20, I mean, what's not days 21. questions 21 all the way to questions 30 on my next stream. And today, hopefully, if I'm not really as lazy, I will be working on completing all my review montages. All these days, I have been grinding a little on Valorant, so when I start streaming, I can actually be really good at it, and I am trying to get a pretty good grasp of it. That said, if you guys did enjoy the stream, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe with the notifications bell turned on, and also share this video because liking helps my algorithm, sharing makes you smile, subscribing to the share on top. That's it. I will start streaming on Twitch and Kick once I get a graphics card, which I will be getting relatively sooner. And I will start streaming on Instagram and TikTok as well if I did meet the followers requirement. So if you guys do enjoy my content and haven't followed me there, make sure to follow me there. The link is going to be in the description. The link is going to be in the bio. You guys can get access to any of my socials in general if you guys type exclamation and the socials is named on chat, everything lowercase. If the socials does exist, a link is going to pop up in like about 2 to 3 seconds. If it does not exist, the link will not pop up. That said, also make sure to join my Discord server. That's where I usually talk to you guys, chat with you guys, have general conversations with you guys. The link is going to be in the description. The link is going to be in the bio. You guys can get access to my social. Actually, you guys can get access to my Discord server by typing exclamation Discord on chat through the link in the description, through my bio. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That's where, I mean, my Discord server is usually where I talk to you guys, chat with you guys, have general conversations with you guys as well. And if you guys do want to join, or whatchamacallit, go along with me in this AI engineering for 365 days series, and you guys do want the roadmap that I am using for this, you guys could go to my coding helps us chat or my Python chat and mention my name there at the universe and ask me for the roadmap. I will be personally DMing it to you guys. That said, I'll catch you guys next time for more video. Peace. Okay, I guess let's end the stream.